Hello guys, it's Fiona Mcdonald Baylis here with another Tea with Bee special. Now, as some of you know, I have been on a green juice fast. My hubby's in the UK and I decided to ask my body and really get in communion with my body. And it really wanted to go on a green juice fast. So I did that for 10 days, bar a couple of times some miso soup. And it was amazing. It was so energizing, and I wasn't hungry once. So I was asking my body, what else do you require? And it popped up about colonics, or colonic irrigation, colonic hydrotherapy. It's called lots of names. And I'd heard lots of different things about this, and I'd never done it because of that. Anyway, I then called up Bottoms Up Colonics in Bundaberg, and I spoke to this fabulous woman, and when you meet her, I think you're going to really enjoy her also. It was the most natural thing in the world to go in, and it was like having a cup of tea with Janita Blinco. So here you are, Janita. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. How you going?
I'm great. So everyone, I just want you to know that this is about me extolling the virtues of colonic irrigation, colonic hydrotherapy. And I said to Janita, please let's talk about this. Let's look at the myths. Let's clear all that up and really get to grips with it. Might not be for everybody. It might not be for you. And yet, let's see where we can go with this, because I really had a huge shift. Okay, Janita, so tell us all about, what do you call it? Colonics, hydrotherapy?
Yeah, the colonic hydrotherapy, definitely, exactly. And I love your intro to it. Colonic hydrotherapy is something different to everybody. You've done it beautifully because you've been on a fast. So when we go on a fast, what did you fast for? You were fasting for a detox. You wanted a detox, your body. And when we detox our body, we're able to function on a higher level. We're detoxing our body to get rid of old toxins and toxins that are bring us down. And our body can't work on a great level. So when we go on a juice fast, we're asking our body to detox. The detox has got to go somewhere, so it goes into our gut. Then you come and see me, and I get rid of everything on a grand scale. We're talking about 40 to 50 litres of cool, beautiful, filtered, clean water, just travelling gently in and out of your bowel. So we're doing that for a few reasons. So we use a really lovely, gentle method. We're hydrating that bowel. We know that water is absorbed when we're actually drink water. It's actually absorbed through our bowel and hydrates the rest of our body. So over a lifetime of, getting married and having children and having a few stresses and whatever else, we ask so much of our body. So when we can give it the gift of water, of hydration and detoxing as well too, then we're able to just function on such a much better level. And I love the fact that you sort of said that you had a huge shift, and a lot of people are able to feel that. Some people aren't. It just depends where you're at in life. So no, that was lovely.
Okay, I really did have a huge shift. I lost half a kilo in one day. And I know it's not all about losing weight, but I actually I've always felt very, very heavy. And maybe that's a psychological thing. I've always felt the size of an elephant. Very strange. Maybe it's just the energy, working with the energy. And yet energetically, I felt so light. I was walking on air, and I just felt fantastic. So what is that? Is that psychological, or what is that? Do many people have that?
A few people do. So when we talk about feeling heavy, and I think we spoke about this in the clinic as well too, so there's such a strong mind-gut connection. So if our gut's heavy, it's overloaded, we've got a lot of stuff in there that's sitting in there that hasn't shifted, hasn't traveled out, and I can tell people, this stuff that's coming out of you now, it's been in there for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We can see that because it comes out like a bit of old beef jerky or whatever. So when you're feeling heavy, that means, you've got a lot of old stuff sitting in your gut. And when you can shift that and get rid of it, we know that we absorb all of our minerals and nutrients through our small intestines as well too. So, of course, our body's going to be running on such a beautiful, better level because we're absorbing pure energy into our body, so we're feeling better, because we've had a cleanse, we've had a detox, so that's fabulous.
So all the myths that I've been hearing about I mean, one of the reasons I didn't ever go for all these years was because I'd heard that your bowel can get perforated, and
Yes.
that it's not actually good for you. So if you can talk to that, and also about good and bad bacteria, you know, sort of probiotics and all that kind of stuff, because you do like is it a probiotic implant?
Yes, we can do a probiotic implant.
Yeah.
Totally. So the myths, and you know what, they're not actually myths. You know, people in other countries, I can personally vouch for Australia. So no one has had a perforated bowel in Australia with a registered and insured colonic hydrotherapy clinic in Australia. That's the honest truth. And there are other places around and about that would have, you know, a 50-year-old colonic machine in their laundry, and, you know, Auntie Martha comes down for a colonic every now and again, but they're not registered and they're not insured. So they're sort of, then there's a place for them, but they're sort of not, you know, within our realm, I should say. So when we talk about good and bad bacteria, and I've had a couple of scientists get on my Facebook page every now and again, and they're like, there's no place for colonic hydrotherapy because the bowels are a self-cleaning mechanism, and, you know, and colonics just upsets a good bacteria and rah, rah, rah. And I get where they're coming from. And in a perfect world, when we have a wonderful, healthy bowel that moves on its own, and, you know, all waste exits our body, you know, within the 12 to 18-hour window frame, that's fabulous. But
yes,
with the clinic that I have and the people that come in on a regular basis, their bowel isn't working properly. You know, stresses and environmental issues and all that sort of stuff, their poor little bowel is functioning at 20%, 10%. Sometimes people come and see me and they aren't able to go to the toilet for 10 days at a time. So there definitely is a place for colonic hydrotherapy. As I said again, you know, we use an incredibly gentle method. And as the lovely Fiona said as well too, I go to a really a place of caring and gentleness and safety to make sure that everybody that comes in here, they are in an incredibly safe environment. They're in charge, not me. Anytime they don't feel comfortable, if they want to pull up the session, we pull it up. That doesn't happen, but I tell everyone, you know, you're entitled to do that. So I just make sure that everybody knows that they're in a really good, safe place.
So you call it getting flushed, don't you? Which I just love that, getting flushed.
Yes.
And I have to say, you know, I'm sure it depends on who you meet when you come to get this. Because as soon as I walked in, you were so warm and welcoming. And it was the most comfortable thing. It really was. And I'm sure it depends on who you're actually dealing with, you know. But you, Janita, sure, you make people feel so at home, you know, and really, really comfortable. And also Janita's with you the entire hour. So, yes, you know, she doesn't leave the room. She attends you all the time. And also you get a beautiful, gentle belly massage also, if you're comfortable with that. So what does that actually do when you have that done, Janita?
For sure. So, and I ask permission, you know, with the belly massage. I don't sort of go hell for leather jumping on, you know, someone's belly. We use beautiful essential oils, the lovely doTERRA oils. We talk about the 2 essential oils in Australia. There's either doTERRA or Young Living, and you're either a fan of either or. We love doTERRA oils. And I use either a peppermint one or there's a beautiful Digest Zen, and that's an incredible essential oils that assists an inflamed belly. So I'll pop a couple of drops on your belly, and then I'll say, is it okay if I massage your belly? So I'm doing that for a few reasons. One is I'm helping, you know, the waste to travel around in the motion that it's naturally supposed to travel around to. I'm pushing on those bowel walls so that as water is traveling around, it's able to get in and around behind waste. The aim of the game is to hydrate the bowel, so that when we hydrate the bowel, then we can hydrate the waste that's attached to those bowel walls, and just works in such a beautiful motion. Fabulous.
I mean, it really is. And I've had 2 so far with you, and you suggest 3 initially to actually create. I remember in biology actually reading about the colon and the villi, you know, the little hairs sort of absorb.
Yes.
And I also read that depending on the food we eat, and a lot of our food is kind of plasticky, chemical, let's face it, with processed food. And so that the villi sometimes get overwhelmed. So with a colonic, you would actually begin to clear that, so the villi can then absorb and digest the food more. Is that correct?
It is. So, and we talk about, so probably going on even further from what you're chatting about, we talk about auto-intoxication and, you know, it's a fairly heavy duty scenario. So auto intoxication is where our bowel, our large bowel, gets incredibly full and not working properly. Well, that will in turn make our small intestines, and that's where the walls of villi are. That's where we absorb all of our minerals and nutrients. So when things are sort of getting backed up, the walls of villi, they can't absorb everything, because nothing's working in a beautiful motion like it should do. So when we have a lovely cleanse and a hydration session with our large intestines, then our small intestines are going to be traveling at a wonderful rate, being able to absorb all of those minerals and nutrients as well too. So, and when our small intestines are working properly, then our stomach's working properly, then our brain's working properly, then our body's, you know, our blood. We talk about cleansing on a cellular level with colonic hydrotherapy. We're cleansing our blood as well too. So, which is, you know, when you get those lovely energy spikes, that's because your blood's, you know, so much cleaner, so much better. So it's just fabulous.
And also, you've got an amazing story that you told me about a young chap that was going to have to get a colostomy bag.
Colostomy bag, yes.
And he didn't require it when he came to see you. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Well, very long journey for this young gentleman. So yeah, he came to see me. He was at his wit's end. You know, been Googling in the middle of the night, and eventually came across the Facebook page, and you know, sent a message at you know, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. One time he was at his wit's end. He'd not long come back from a hospital in Brisbane, and they'd sort of said, look, you know, your bowel's pretty much dead. You've got ulcerative colitis. It's in dreadful inflammation. We'll have to take your bowel out. We'll just chop it out. 27 years of age, he just, you know, he had a young child, and he didn't want this to happen. So last case resort, you know, we'll get some colonics, and it was an incredible journey for him. You know, we talk about stress. Stress is just such an inhibitor, you know, and such a dreadful thing for our digestive system. A lot of us, 99.9% of us, stress manifests in our gut. You know, when you're worried about the kids, worried about the husband, you know, traveling home safe, you feel that clenching in your gut. So, yeah. And that's the same for everybody, you know, whether you're a little kid or, you know, you're a 27-year-old. So he had a lot of stress manifesting in his gut as well too. So we had several colonic sessions across a few months. They were incredibly painful for him as well too. You know, you can imagine when your gut's not working properly, everything's quite poisonous in there. Yes. But we got to the other end of it, and yeah, to this day, I actually received a text message off him the other day, back in the gym. You know, he's feeling really good. He feels like he's really on top of his health. So I'm really so grateful that I could be part of that journey.
How does it get any better than that? So guys, you know, this, you know, it's up to you. If your body's, you know, we follow an energy, light or heavy. If something's light for you and it's true for you, if it's heavy for you, then it's a lie and it's not, maybe not so cool for you. But ask your body, you know, if you require. So a bottoms up colonic. Now, Sue Wilson is the lady that actually created the bottoms up colonic clinics. There are currently how many, Janita, in
we have Australia? 7 in Australia. Yes,
They're in Sydney, Adelaide, Lismore, Bundaberg, and elsewhere. Now, Janita is in Bundaberg, and trust me or not, go to Bundaberg and meet Janita. She's an absolute treat, as you can see. And Janita, you've got a Facebook page, Colonics. What's your Facebook page, and what's your...
So it's, yeah, and we try to keep them all fairly uniform so that you can pick the one that's closest to you. So mine is Bottoms Up Colonic Clinic Bundaberg, and then there's Bottoms Up Colonic Clinic Lismore, and, you know, Maroochydore and West End. So we're easy to find. We've got the little bums up on our logo.
Awesome. It's just gorgeous, the logo. It makes me laugh and smile. So if you feel like getting flushed, go and get very flush with Bottoms Up Colonics. So thank you so much, Janita, for that. You know, if even one person chooses to get that, then, and it creates more well-being, then what else is possible? What else is possible?
Thank you, Fiona.
So thank you guys, and a Tea with Thee special again coming to you soon. Bye.